Baby, you don't know what you do to me, between me and you.
Hi friends, I have currently got a rotten cold, just a cold, but yeah, so do excuse me for my horrendous sounding voice and blocked nasal cavity. I'm here to do my October book haul, and yeah, I'm really excited to share with you the books that I picked up during Spooky Month. Some of them are kind of Halloween inspired, creepy. Some of them I just wanted to get good offers, good deals, that sort of thing. So I'll start off with these two bookish related items that aren't actually books, although one of them has a book in there, or two. So it was recently mine and my partner's anniversary, and I got these little gifts. So I got some stuff from Paper and Word, which I have been wanting to get a book sleeve from them for so long. So I got this book sleeve. I can't recall what the style is called, but I got the hardback option because I thought, well, in that case I can have a hardback in there, I can use it for paperbacks. I've currently got two paperbacks in here. I can use it for my Kindle or tablet as well, so it seems like multi-purpose. So this is the stunning one I've got. It's quite big, I like it, and I also got one of their candles in the scent mist, and it's not that I can smell much now because my nose is thoroughly blocked, but it is quite nice. It's very relaxing, very earthy. So those are my non-bookish items. Next up are the actual books. So I bought a couple off of Amazon. They had a deal for one of these books and it was literally like $2.99, so I was like, oh, I really want to read this book and I need to finish this author's other series. So yeah, I ended up buying 3 books to kind of make it worthwhile, and that book was Incendiary. I don't know why I struggle to say this word, but this is by Howdee-haie, and I read Labyrinth Lost, which was book 1 of the Bruja trilogy, I want to say it was. And I read that through NetGalley a couple of years ago. I've really enjoyed it, but I've just not got around to continuing it on or finishing it if it is finished. So this is her latest series, and this is following Renata Convida, who has lived 100 stolen lives and now is living their own. It says Renata was only a child when she was kidnapped by the crown. As a memory thief, the rarest of the magical Moria, she was used to carry out the king's wrath, a siege that cost the lives of thousands of her own people. Now Renata is one of the Whisperers, a rebel spy working against the crown. When Des, her commander, and the boy she's grown to love is taken captive, Renata must return to the palace and complete his mission herself. Can she keep her cover, even as she burns for vengeance? Her life and the fate of the Maria depend on it. But returning to the palace stirs memories long locked away. And soon Renata uncovers a secret that could change the fate of the entire kingdom and end the war that has cost her everything. This sounds awesome. It's a bit of YA, I think, fantasy, stunning cover. I think I'm going to love this, but I almost don't want to start this until I catch up or finish the other trilogy. I don't know, I feel like maybe I might get confused between characters, and I don't know, I just don't naturally read more than one book from an author at the same time, like if they're different worlds, I don't know. Anyway, the other 2 books I got, one of them is a series I have been talking about non-stop over the last couple of months, and that was the TV version, but I picked up the book of The 10th Kingdom by Wesley. I think this is a duology, I think this is a duo author, so it's based, so yeah, it came out at the same time as the TV show aired, so I was thinking, oh, maybe it is a novelisation of the show, and it does confirm that it is based on the screenplay by Simon Moore. And Wesley is a pen name for the 2 best-selling authors. They have won many awards, including the World Fantasy Award and the Hugo Award. Together they have written over 60 novels and hundreds of short stories, and they live and work in the magical kingdom of the Oregon coast with 7 cats. So yeah, duo authors. So yeah, The 10th Kingdom, oh my god, phenomenal. I've been talking about it non-stop. I've actually got a review of the TV show that should be coming up hopefully this month, we shall see. But anyway, this says The 10th Kingdom is a contemporary drama set in a world where fairy tales, folklore and traditional myths come to life. The story follows the fortunes of Virginia, a New York waitress who unwittingly finds herself in the fantasy world of the 9 Kingdoms, where she must save a prince from the clutches of his evil stepmother and restore him to the throne. This is the modern epic tale of good versus evil that will grip the imagination and leave you spellbound, and I absolutely adored the TV show, so I'm hoping I enjoy kind of getting back into the world and just reading what I had seen, you know. And I also finally got around to picking up this one. This is one I've been wanting since it came out. The cover just really drew me in, and I've been following the author since. And that is Milkshakes for the Almost Dead by Lulu, and it's the first in the Girls and Monsters trilogy. Now, look at that awesome cover, right? How stunning is that? That back kind of reminds me of the house in the Cerulean Sea. But yeah, this is so freaking cool. So this is self-published, and I think this is too. I think they've like just printed on demand through Amazon. So this says, a monster thought he'd got me. He thought I was so lonely I'd go along with anything. He thought he could steal my life and I'd let him because I wasn't paying attention, because I was just a silly young girl. He was wrong. So I'm very intrigued to see what this is about. I mean, I imagine it's actually fantasy, but I also don't really know an exact synopsis other than that. It's just the cover really drew me on, and all the hype that the author was giving around it just really got me excited. But it does say it's a horror story for girls, apparently, whatever that means. So there is that. The next lot of books I got, when did I get? I think I got the first two in Sainsbury's, and they were on a good deal. And the other one I got in Asda for also a good deal. So I picked up this little one. I hadn't heard of it before, I don't think, but it is Michaela Cole's Misfits, a personal manifesto. And I recently read a book kind of similar to this. I read what one was it? What was it called? Jesmyn Ward's book that was similar, in Unwritten Stars or something like the stars, which was kind of like a talk that she had done, and it was written down as like an inspirational kind of manifesto, and I think this might be similar. So it says, a misfit is one who looks at life differently. Many, however, are made into misfits because life looks at them differently. And it says that Michaela's lecture touched a lot of people with her striking revelations about race, class and gender, but in the end the person most impacted was Cole herself. Building on this speech, Misfits immerses readers in her deeply personal vision through powerful allegory and anecdotes, from her East London upbringing to her discovery of theatre and love for storytelling. With inspiring insight and wit, she tells of her reckoning with trauma and metamorphosis into a champion for herself. Inclusivity and radical honesty, and in telling her journey invites us to reflect on our own. By embracing our differences, she says, we can transform our lives. An artist to her core, Cole holds up the path of the creative as an emblem of our need to regard one another with care, respect and transparency. It's a triumphant call for honesty, empathy and inclusion. This timely, necessary book is a rousing coming to power manifesto dedicated to anyone who has ever worried about fitting in. And I love that, keeping with like the metamorphosis theme, they've got like butterflies or moths or whatever they are. Stunning. So hopefully this is an enjoyable, empowering read. And also I picked up The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and I've been wanting to read this for ages. I didn't realise how much similar this cover was to The Mothers, which is I think Britt Bennett's debut book. I've yet to read, but this one seemed really interesting because it was kind of about like colorism within the black community. So it follows Stella and Desire, who are identical twins growing up together in a small southern black community until at age 16 they run away. I wonder if it goes into depth about why they run away. I'll be interested to see that. Years later, everything about their lives is different, their families, communities and racial identities. One sister lives with her black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. The other sister secretly passes as white, and her husband knows nothing of her past. Still, separated by many miles and just as many lives, the fates of the twins remain entwined. What will happen in the next generation when their own daughter's storylines intersect? That sounds fabulous, and I've really been enjoying like writings like Bernardine Evaristo's Girl, Woman, Other, that kind of generational story setting, so I think hopefully I'll enjoy this one. I also really want to read Gyasi's Homecoming, which I think also kind of follows a multi-generational conversation on like race and just living. So yeah, I really hope I love this one. This will be my first foray into Britt Bennett's writing. This was a really good deal in Asda. I picked up Boy in the Striped Pajamas by Boyne. I'm not sure when I'll actually get around to reading this, but it's one of those, I feel like, modern classics that everybody raves about. I've watched the movie. I remember watching the movie in school when I was 8, 9, and it was heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. So I don't know how or when I'm gonna get to this. Oh, it's got an interesting synopsis the way it describes it. So it says this: the story of the boy in the striped pajamas is very difficult to describe. Usually we give some clues about the book on the cover, but in this case we think that would spoil the reading of the book. We think it is important that you start to read without knowing what it's about. If you do start to read this book, you will go on a journey with a 9-year-old boy called Bruno. Now this isn't a book for 9-year-olds. But sooner or later, you will arrive with Bruno at a fence. Fences like this exist all over the world. We hope you never have to cross such a fence. And knowing what it's about is it's even that more emotional, knowing kind of what's within. So yeah, I quite like that in the synopsis. Okay, so my next stack of books is from W.H. Smith. I picked up Witch, Unleashed, Untamed, Unapologetic by Lisa Lister. And this is a little bit of non-fiction about Wicca, witchcraft. And it says here just a little bit, this book will help women to remember, reconnect and reclaim the word witch and its power. It provides an overview of the many different versions of witchcraft and their core principles and practices, and shares ancient wisdom made relevant for waking witches, including how to connect with your trust and intuition, how to cast circles, create altars and set sacred space, rediscover your powers and manifest your reality with spellcasting, and many more. So looking forward to dipping in and out of this. I think it's one that I'm just going to kind of slowly work my way through and hopefully very much enjoy. I have another non-fiction. This is Matt Haig. I've really been enjoying his books. I've only picked up like 2 or 3 and I've loved them. So this is Notes on a Nervous Planet. It's such a teeny tiny like little edition, especially like comparing it to, oh my god, why did I do this? Oh, this isn't even the book that I want to show it against. Like this one. Look how diddy it is. So cute. But it's not about the size. It's about the content and its heart, you know? So this says, the world is messing with our minds. What if there was something we could do about it? Looking at sleep, news, social media, addiction, work and play, Matt Haig invites us to feel calmer, happier and question the habits of the digital age. This book might even change the way you spend your precious time on Earth. I love that. I love the sound of that. And to me it seems like Reasons to Stay Alive is kind of like a companion, because they seem kind of like set together, you know? So I hope I love this one. I'm sure I will. I also picked up this one. So I don't really listen to podcasts, and I know this is based off of a podcast, but the concept, I remember hearing about it when it was first released and it really intrigued me. I liked the idea of it. I kept meaning to like check out the podcast, I just never did. So I thought, let me just grab the book because I'm never going to remember the title because I don't listen to the podcast, you know what I mean? Anyway, the book is called Welcome to Night Vale, a novel from Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor, based on the podcast Welcome to Night Vale. And it sounds really cool, and Ransom Riggs has done a little quote on the front that says, brilliant, hilarious and wonderfully strange. I didn't notice that at first, but I love Ransom Riggs, so that makes me even more excited to try it. So it says, welcome to Night Vale, a friendly desert community where the sun is hot, the moon is beautiful, and mysterious lights pass overhead while its citizens pretend to sleep. It's a town like your town, with a city hall, a bowling alley, a diner, and a radio station reporting all the news that's allowed to be heard. It might be more like your town than you'd like to admit. In this ordinary town where ghosts, aliens, and government conspiracies are parts of everyday life, the lives of 2 women with 2 mysteries are about to converge. This sounds so epic. Like, I really hope I love it. It looks like it's got a little bit of mixed media content in here as well. I'm not too sure. I might have just misinterpreted it, but I'm sure I saw a little bit of unconventional writing in there. I also picked up 2 Kieran Millwood Hargrave books. I was actually looking for their latest one, but I couldn't see it. I saw it in the display window and I just could not be bothered to ask if they had any more out back because I couldn't find it. But I got 2 which seemed like they were part of a series, and that is The Girl of Ink and Stars and A Secret of Birds and Bone. So I mean, it might not necessarily be a part of anything. I haven't really researched it that deep. It's just because the covers look so similar, it made me think they were part of the same world or something. So for that reason, I'm just going to read the synopsis of The Girl of Ink and Stars because I think that one came out first. So that says, forbidden to leave her island, Isabella dreams of the faraway lands her father once mapped. When her best friend disappears, she's determined to be part of the search party. Guided by an ancient map and her knowledge of the stars, Isabella navigates the island's dangerous forgotten territories, but beneath the dry rivers and dead forests, a fiery myth stirring from its sleep. That sounds awesome, and it kind of gives me vibes of A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harris. So I hope I really love these. They're quite short, middle grade. Hope I enjoy. And the last lot of books are all that I got from Vinted recently, and they are all hardcover manga. So I got a load of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure volumes. So let me just get those out because that is the majority of this stack, and they're all random. I got volume 1, 3, 9 and 10 because those were the ones that I saw and I've been wanting to read them for ages, and this is, I think, the cheapest that I saw them. I didn't get them all together, I got them from a few different sellers. So I don't know if there's a synopsis for this. Let me see. I've been wanting to read this for so long, and to be honest I don't really know what it's about. There's not really a synopsis. And also I've noticed that within the volumes they have different parts. So this is part 3, so maybe I need volume 1, part 2. Oh my god, I didn't realise it was like different parts. How confusing. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But this is my stack to start with anyway. And then the last book I got, I have been reading and loving Jinji Ito, his manga collection all October. I read Uzumaki and Gaio, and I realised I didn't have Tomi, so I picked up Tomi. No Use Escaping, and I think this might be the thickest out of all of them. I'm very excited to try this out. This one says, murdered again and again, one girl always comes back for more. Tomi Kakawami is a femme fatale with long black hair and a beauty mark just under her left eye. She can seduce nearly any man and drive them to murder as well, even though the victim is often Tomi herself. While one lover seeks to help keep her for himself, another grows terrified of the immortal succubus. But soon they realise that no matter how many times they kill her, the world will never be free of Tomi. It sounds so freaking cool. I love that. So yeah, those are all the books that I got during October. Let me know what you've been reading, what you've been buying, and I shall speak to you in another video soon. Bye!